I'll do both at the same time, man. I'm weird. Like I use a 30-06 as like my plinking rifle.
That's expensive.
Yeah.
It very much is. But damn, is it worth it? Because it's fucking fun.
So I've got another fun question.
Silex,
here
I swear to
for-
God, if you keep breathing in your mic, I will shove my fist down your
I'm
fucking
not
face.
even breathing in the mic.
This is all I hear.
He's got that growly sound.
Whoa.
God.
Whoa.
Oh,
Yikes. Yikes.
Hi, and welcome to Furry Frequencies, the soundtrack to your furry life. My name is Lifty, and joining us on this podcast tonight are me, along with Sharky.
I'm all hopped up on fucking testosterone.
Psylocke,
Hey, how's it going, America?
and
just
our
America.
newest special guest, Seiko Liz. Go ahead and say something for us tonight. There we go. So,
Let it be known,
on this
Silex
podcast,
likes
we
everyone
have...
except for those not in America. He only said hello to America.
I'm
That
pretty
isn't
sure
true.
only America's listening to us, but okay.
I'm sure we got some Europeans.
Are you peeing?
Maybe some random Czech dude
Don't say that joke. Please don't say that joke. Don't say that joke.
at the Czech Republic is
Okay.
listening in on us.
Go take a waz, man. I was taking a good waz
Stop
earlier. so-
it with
You were
that
forcibly
word.
pissing?
Stop peeing so hard, okay?
I
It's
think I
not
want
good
to
for your
introduce
health.
Waz into my vernacular.
Waz
Lord.
literally
Yes, you
means it's
should.
like
It's an
tactical
amazing
pissing,
word.
But you're like
It is not.
forcing it out with such fury that actually causes pain. That's a Waz.
Waz just means peen in my dictionary, so.
Well, you're wrong.
Oh, jeez.
We're all allowed. Okay, you can have a wrong opinion. That's fine. This is America, okay?
We literally looked up the definition of it, though. We
Definitions
had
can
a
be
whole
wrong.
talk
my guy.
about this.
Wait,
Okay,
what's the
just-
definition of Waz?
It's to pee.
It is the pee with this is to forcibly pee enough to cause pain.
This is in Webster's?
No, this is
It's
an urban dictionary.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
Dictionary.
that's almost disappointing.
Well, you're not going to
Just
find
like
it
Chad
in
is
Webster's
disappointing,
or
but
Oxford.
Okay,
Chad
So
is never
anyway, we have
disappointing.
it's a
Chad is
country.
Chad.
I love Chad. It's a good country.
Go fuck yourself.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my god.
So tonight's podcast, we have a slew of great topics to talk about tonight. We want to, of course, introduce our special guest, Seiko Liz, tonight, and also talk about the FWA fursuit photo and who is in it front and center. I'm pretty sure everybody already knows, and not very many people are happy about that.
I
And
actually
also
don't,
talk
and I'm
about-
scared.
Oh Lord, you're
Be afraid.
you're gonna go for a trip.
Oh,
And
no.
also, we're going to
afraid.
be talking. We're going to be talking photography a little bit with our special guest, Seiko Liz, and also talk about movies. Psylocke, maybe. Have you watched the Godzilla movie by any chance?
So I unfortunately have not seen Godzilla yet, and I am upset about that.
Neither
Maybe
have
this
I,
weekend
but
I'll
I've
go
been
see it.
busy, because I
Okay.
live my life.
Yeah, I haven't seen Godzilla either, but god damn it, I want to watch it. And also talk about a new show on Netflix that is an all fursuit cast. They have a Kickstarter for it, and we're going to be talking about that later on. But first of all, we want to introduce our special guest for this evening. He is a photographer from the Baltimore City area. Let us introduce to Furry Frequencies, Seiko Liz. Welcome to the show.
Hello again.
Talk about what the fuck
So-
you are and what you do.
Oh, Lord. Do you have to
I mean-
always be so vulgar?
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
This is a requirement of me.
Do you always have to use a Minnesota accent?
Yes,
Probably.
because I'm a proud Minnesotan.
Okay, well, your state sucks, but continue, Seiko.
Are
Enlighten
you
us
serious?
about who you are. Yes, I'm serious. I'm dead serious. You had a wrestler as your governor one time. Come on, man. That's like
He was
bottom
the
of the barrel
best.
right there.
He was the
He
best
was
governor
awesome.
Minnesota
you will
has
take back
ever
those
had.
words before I shove my foot up your
Jesse
ass.
Ventura was overrated as as a wrestler. Actually, just putting it out there. It's not
At
a good
least he can
wrestler.
say that he
Anyway,
was a
this
wrestler.
is kind of drawing away from Seiko. Seiko, can you tell our listeners any what you do and anything else that you want to share with our listeners about you?
Oh, I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head. I don't actually know. I don't talk about myself like this much. I'm a stupid bird from Baltimore that takes pictures a lot. And at one point in time, kicked off a pretty good fur meet that a bar took over, and that's life now.
As soon as
You're
said
not a
you
stupid
take
bird.
pictures, all I can think in my head is take a picture of this dick.
So,
Anyway.
so Seiko, you take a lot of images of cityscapes. You take a lot of nature images and animals. What is your favorite thing to just take pictures of?
I am actually a weird fan of the pigeons, and this is going to sound really simple and stupid, but I have been taking pictures of the pigeons that live around my apartment complex pretty much every morning for the last 2 years, and it's weirdly remarkable to just watch over a long span of time the sort of social structures that go on and the inter-pigeon politics. It is the simplest thing that you
Pigeon
can
politics. Are there like gang member pigeons or like a Trump pigeon or something like that?
That's the sparrows. The sparrows are all gang members. They're assholes.
Good. I like sparrows.
Yes.
Pigeons are fun though. Just birding in general, which I'm not actually very good at, or I haven't delved into that too much yet. That's actually how I got into photography, not because I was taking pictures of birds, but because my dad used to when I was really young.
Oh.
And I would always steal his secondary camera and take pictures of him while he was taking pictures of birds, and then I failed to put the camera down 30 years later. And here we are.
Nice.
So you
Nice.
stole a camera? So you're saying you're a thief, bird?
Absolutely.
Well, I'm glad you embrace it.
I
What
have
bird are you?
a blue one, a blue jay.
A blue
Who
jay?
are the asshole birds of the bird kingdom?
Yeah, I can see that.
I
Always
thought it
stealing
was.
cameras
I thought
and shit.
the asshole birds were the birds that push the eggs out of. I think it was a mockingbird that does this, but they.
I mean,
knock
blue jays do
the,
that too.
Emus are
Oh.
asshole birds. They can't
Nah.
even fucking
Yeah, they will
fly.
kill
They
you.
just run.
No, it's the geese,
They will
man.
kill you.
Those Canadian
Geese
geese.
have
are,
Oh,
their
yeah,
own
Canadian
level
geese.
of like.
yeah, they're assholes. I
No,
don't
they're
like
just straight up terrorists.
They'll chase
is what
ya.
They are.
Yeah, they will. They'll fucking
Geese are
chase you. They don't
fucking
care.
the terrorists of the bird community.
All I have
They
to say
just
about
take
Canada
some
geese.
territory and harass every local around you, them, including you.
And they poop
All I have to
everywhere,
say-
which is also not nice.
Yeah.
And then they
All I have to
chase
say
you.
about Canada geese is that at sometime in the past they were an endangered species. They were close to extinction. Then we saved them.
Yep.
And this is how they repay us.
Yeah, they're going to have the
That
same fate
is
as the dodo bird.
Actually a myth, though. I was just watching a video on Vox about that, where it was actually a misunderstanding of the word. It wasn't extinction, it was extirpation. That's right, extirpation. Where they're not going extinct as a species, but they were no longer living in specific areas, although the overall population was still super, super high. So as a result of that, back in the 70s, all of this conservation work to try to save the Canada goose accidentally overpopulated them to the point where they've just taken over certain areas where they otherwise would have just left.
Do what they do
God.
with the moose and drop fucking wolves on them from the air.
Oh my god.
The Canadian goose was an accident.
Yeah, they
Accidental child.
they almost were.
They
Back in the 50s, people thought they were extinct, and then somebody saw a flock, and it's like, "Ooh, what a pretty bird!" And then they got their nose bitten off.
Ah. But blue jays are assholes too. They go around to other birds' nests, they kick the eggs out, they just fuck shit up because it's what they do.
Yeah, they just straight take over another bird's home. It's funny as fuck.
They're bullies.
How
I know. I've seen
how-
videos of it. They'll just fly in, push the egg out from a high place, and I'm like, that's fucking awesome.
how close is Mordecai's character to an actual blue jay?
I mean, he's blue. Isn't that close enough?
Yeah, it's close in my book.
Yeah, I know,
That's
but
all
I
you
mean,
need.
He's blue.
Well, I mean, you
he's a
call blue
nerd.
jays
He's
like-
not enough of an asshole.
okay. Well, thank you very much for that introduction. That was really great, actually.
Sloppy blabber.
So there's been a lot of brouhaha over the FWA picture for fursuiters in the fursuit parade. God, I use way too many words to say something so simple. And it's all because everybody noticed that front and center was Growly, who not only
that
is
boy.
on, who not only is on
And we
the
could
sex
talk about
offender
how
registry
one year
as
in
of today.
Anthrocon, how freaking Psylocke is right next to him.
Yeah, I'm right next to the guy.
Yeah.
I didn't even know who he was at the time.
Oh,
My experience
yeah,
with him
and
was
and
he
what's
was
funny
loud.
is that. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Dead silence. Beautiful.
FWA shall perish now, and I have
Oops.
no quarrels about it because they're like, oh, he pays money, we can ignore every little horrible thing he's done.
Yeah. So yeah, the whole thing about Growly just kind of blew up all over again when FWA released that photo on Twitter because he was right there front and center, and
Yeah,
Not
he's right there.
everybody disliked that. Not only that, but it is also revealed that Growly has been at God level at FWA for at least 8 years. He said that he sponsored the convention at God level since 2010, except for 1 year. So yeah, tally all that up at current FWA God level rates, and you get $2,800 from Growly to FWA, and even more people don't like that because, hey, it's Growly, it's pedo money.
Well, you know what? Just like in real life, money talks. And, I'll just say this. FWA is ran by supposedly competent people, but they're doing an extremely incompetent job at how they get out in front of this. To have a pedophile at your convention while at the
known
same time,
pedophile.
a known one who's still on a sex offender list, like
He's
you
still
can
trying to
Google
get
his
with
name.
kids. He's
And
still messaging kids, if you guys
He
don't
is?
know that. Yeah.
He's holding events with children who are participating, and to have that at your convention while claiming you're a family-friendly event is so hypocritical and so disgusting. I can't foresee myself ever going to that convention. It's disgusting, and other conventions do the same thing. He said Anthrocon, BLFC, Further Confusion took the step of banning him finally, but I don't care, and I've said this before, I don't care how much money you make. I don't care how much money you donate to a con. I don't care who you are, how popular you are. If you mess up, if you are someone who is problematic, you deserve to be called out for it. You deserve to be held accountable. This person deserves to be held accountable to the highest standard. I don't care who he is or
You guys want to hear something even worse?
what.
So they're at FWA. They try to put all the kids up front.
Yeah, I'm looking at this photo and I think I kind of noticed that, which
That's,
is weird.
Really, yeah, it was just a really, really bad look. But
That's bad,
I have a question.
Very bad.
Who on earth is calling FWA a family-friendly event?
FWA
This is not a
calling
family-friendly.
That's
That's
like
the con
saying
doing it.
MFF isn't a party con.
That's the con doing it. Their public
Oh.
relations board or whatever the hell
They're-
it's called are calling themselves a family-friendly furry con, and it's not.
Well, and their PR is delusional because no, it is not. People go there.
Far from the
people-
truth.
Yeah, I mean, I've only been there once, but I've seen people go in and out of rooms like constantly all throughout the convention. They don't even go to the panels. They don't go to any of the activities. They just go from room to room and fuck. I mean,
So I've been doing conventions wrong all of this time.
you do you. You do you. I'm just saying.
I'm
just
missing
saying,
out, brah.
With FWA, I mean, I don't know how things are done at Anthrocon because I've never been there. And MFF, I mean, MFF is lit no matter what. I mean, yeah, you're gonna have people doing that at MFF, but you're also gonna have a lot of stuff going on the con floor. But with FWA, they're just straight up fucking. I mean, that's why FWA stands for fucking with anthros. I mean, it makes sense.
'cause
Wait,
they're
what?
literally
Not?
fucking
Did you just
in the
make
middle
that
of
up
public,
on the
too.
spot?
On the spot.
Yeah,
God.
literally,
It's like
running for the
MFF.
elevator. Couldn't
MFF is
fucking
Mecca
wait.
for furries.
I thought that was Anthrocon, but okay.
So I have never actually made it to FWA. I was going to go there with my buddy Clatterbuck this year, and we ended up not doing it because
Thank God you saved
other shit.
yourself.
Apparently, like, everybody was telling me how good of a convention FWA is, but then after this year, that opinion suddenly changed in a really sharp and unexpected way.
Yeah, see, they had a pedophile there.
It was
That's-
a sharp and a very
Yeah.
expected, not unexpected, with what the thing.
And
they
here's
did.
the best part. Marriott, the hotel that the convention is branded under, or whatever it's called. Marriott is now aware that they have been harboring a convicted pedophile. So if FWA doesn't change their policies, guess what? No Marriott. And here's the other good part. Hotels talk to each other. Okay,
lot.
they may be in competition, but they talk to each other. And this is
That's
why
just basic
Rainforest.
business.
I was just about to say
Yeah.
Rainforest learned that lesson.
Yeah, so FWA is going to learn that lesson too if they don't play ball. So
Oh, they're not going to play
Well-
ball because they care more about money than the safety of their attendees.
and
Well,
that's
then
a crying
maybe-
shame.
Yeah, well, maybe then this whole debacle between FWA and the Marriott is probably the wake-up call that the furry community needs for policies like this to be enacted. Look, if further confusion and Texas Furry Fiesta can both have policies that ban outright people who are on a sex offender registry, I don't see why FWA can't do the same. I'm being dead serious. I don't know why any other convention can do the same. It doesn't matter about 501c3 status. No, I don't know
Which,
why
by the way-
any other convention can't do it.
First of all, that status is bullshit. In terms of banning someone, you can ban someone regardless of that status. And I looked at their terms of service, or their whatever the fuck they call it, their code of conduct. The convention has the right to ban anybody they want to. They could have banned this
Yeah.
guy if they wanted to.
And plus, conventions are considered a private venue, since you have to pay for
And it's
a
not like
membership
they can't
in.
just yoink his god level badge and sell it to someone else. Any furry. There are thousands of furries that are clamoring for these god level badges every year. They don't
flex on
need
folks,
Growly's
They
money.
yoink it from him and they won't give his money back.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Yoink. Here, who wants a god badge? There you go. Have fun. Be a god.
But yeah,
Beautiful.
here's the thing. There have been plenty of fucking opportunities for a wake-up call for the community. There is always going to be people defending these terrible, terrible people. No idea why, but there are.
Well, there was actually a good explanation about that, and it's called the missing stair fallacy. Think of it as
You
like
said phallus.
you're in a house. Yeah,
The stair
Thank
dragon
you,
fallacy.
Sharky.
Tumbles.
yeah.
Oh boy, that guy.
Yeah, beautiful.
OG
But
furry.
anyway, the missing
For
stair,
real.
the missing stair fallacy. Think about being in a house that you're sharing with others, and everything looks nice and ordinary, Except you get to the stairs that lead up to your room, and there's a missing stair right there. And you ask about the missing stair to your other roommates, and they look at it and say, "Oh yeah, that's been how it's always been. We just jump over it." That's the same kind of response that the furry community and all of these conventions have been giving Growly and the Growly situation for years now. You know, they just treated him like the missing stair. They acknowledge him, but they don't do anything about it. They just sidestep him. They sidestep the whole issue. And it's not even enough.
People don't want to do work. They don't want to feel like they're the bad guys.
Which is hilarious because remember that Jonathan Hill guy? Remember how fast they kicked him out?
Yeah.
Or the Confederate fursuiter. So they'll kick them out fast, but a pedophile who gives us $350, oh, no. That's too much work. We're not going to deal with that. Like, get your priorities in order, man. It's pathetic.
Kicking Jonathan was hilarious. He was there for only an hour, and he was gone.
And
he got kicked out over far less.
Declared war.
Over videotaping at a con.
Yeah.
I really love how they're just like, well, he is just like, oh, now the furries are all evil. They all fuck animals.
Oh my god.
Even though he literally said he supports it, and it's just like, really?
He's a troll.
Jonathan is something else.
He's a troll, straight up, and it's fucking hilarious. He holds up the act pretty damn well. I gotta give him that.
Yeah.
This orange is good. Mm-hmm.
Delicious.
Yes, and packed full of vitamin C.
Tonight's episode of Furry Frequencies is brought to you by delicious, nutritious oranges from wherever. Find them at your local store today.
Where the fuck oranges come from?
Florida, hello.
Are we getting paid for that drop? What are we doing?
Hey, we're not getting paid by United Airlines, so shut up about United already.
Can I plug Skillshare, like, real quick?
No.
Oh my god.
No.
Are we getting paid by them?
No, we're not, but I love plugging Skillshare.
No, then you can go fuck yourself.
Every morning I end up watching some sort of like faux educational YouTube video over breakfast, and I'm always like, my butthole is tense as I'm waiting for like the Skillshare advertisement that's going to get slipped in there, because I'm waiting for it and I'm like, I got to catch it this time. I'm going to catch it and I'm going to turn the video off before it gets there. Fuck, I missed it.
Or the Wix advertisement.
Or Dollar Shave Club.
Dollar Shave Club.
Dollar Shave Club's actually really good though. I would love to get sponsored by them. They do make really nice
that
razors.
would be awesome.
They do, actually, yeah.
Yes.
You know who I really love to get sponsored by?
Who?
That fucking that man grooming, whatever fucking company. Manscaped or some shit like that.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
I've seen their
advertisements.
advertisements.
Sponsored by them. Their shit looks fucking dope.
Yeah.
And knowing Lifty, he would want to get sponsored by Arlington. So, I mean, we can make that a reality.
Well, by anything in Arlington, that would be great.
Oh God. Yeah,
I really want to just go to the
goes.
Arlington Hearing Center, and it's like, hey, can you sponsor our podcast? It has nothing to do with hearing, but yeah, be sponsored by the Arlington Hearing Center. Yes,
that's the thing in Arlington.
Yes.
Okay.
The Arlington
if you
Hearing
say
Center.
So, man.
I don't know, but you all talking about the Dollar Shave Club. Now I'm stroking my beard and like, am I missing something else? Oh no.
I don't look good with a full-on beard, unfortunately. Though I have grown out my facial hair when I got out of the army, just to see what would happen.
Apparently, I'm already doing furry cons wrong.
Yeah,
I'm
I
jealous
don't look good with
because
hair
I know
in my face. I shave it all off. I like to look young.
I know that Seiko has a much more glorious beard than what I can ever manage, and it always makes me
I did
jealous.
shave it though. I shaved it down.
The thing is, due to my redneck genes, I will grow a beard in like a fucking week if I don't keep like up with it.
So, The secret of my beard, which isn't going to be so much of a secret anymore, I have all sorts of really fucked up facial scarring going on from a bad car accident a few years back. So the beard secretly covers up these really, really nasty marks that are hidden underneath.
Oh,
You
gotcha,
think that would
gotcha.
work for my ass since I have like 1/8 of my ass missing? Just use like
I
hair
mean-
to cover up all the scars.
Let the bush grow forth.
I don't know how to grow ass hair though. Do I just kind of like push really hard and hope it's hair and not
Oh
shit?
man.
Apply Rogaine to your ass.
Oh, I can imagine that hurting the asshole really badly. It's like putting Nair on there.
What just happened?
Made that mistake once. Never again.
You use Nair on your ass?
A decade ago. Never again.
Yeah, Nair directly on the ass itself is fine, but on the butthole, it's fucking terrible. It's like Satan has come forth and it's like, haha, it's a nice ass you got there. Burn.
Oh god, Liffy has left. Oh boy.
He'll be
Uh-oh.
back. His internet's just getting fucked right now.
We can hold the fort by ourselves, right?
Yeah, we can. So why don't we segue into your photography? I know that you're a very avid photographer. So tell us about that. What made you get started in photography, and how long have you been doing it?
So I think I told the story at least a little bit earlier. My dad he back in the film days he did a lot of photography stuff, and I picked it up. I kind of picked it up seriously when I was in late middle school, early high school, and he invested in it a lot. So like he bought me my first camera, and then I ended up getting my second camera through him too. And I just shot all the time and kept shooting, and it just never got old for whatever reason.
Okay, what
and
just happened?
About 8 years ago, I started doing it professionally. I've been doing real estate photography
Hello?
for a few different firms on contract for
We
about
hear
8
you,
years.
Lifty.
About 8
Okay,
years.
good.
It was pretty cool. Oh, hey, Lifty exists.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, he came back.
Yeah, he timed out. He disconnected, so.
Oh,
So hold on a minute. So Seiko was talking, and then all of a sudden I just poofed, and he still was talking, and so everybody was still talking, and nobody noticed that I was gone.
Oh, we knew you left. We
Yeah,
just
we
didn't
knew.
care.
we moved
Oh.
on without you. Sorry.
Thanks
Sorry,
for
bro.
caring, Sharky. You're beautiful.
All the love.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
But yeah, still kept shooting professionally, and I've been dragging that into the furry world a bit. Been doing the photo studios at Furthermore for, holy crap, how many years now? 4 or 5 years, I think,
Oh,
something
nice,
like that.
yeah.
So that's always been a blast. I like to do the light painting stuff there. Gives me a great excuse to buy a bunch of studio equipment I otherwise would not shell out for.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's how I am, except with firearms.
And, it's a little bit of social pressure. It works.
It's just straight peer pressure. People are like, get this shit. And I'm like, okay.
Okay, I'll buy the thing. But have hitting up various cons. I have been in the habit for the past couple of years of booking myself up privately for like one-on-one shoot sessions or suit maker group sessions and whatnot, and that's always been a blast
do
to
you
do.
make photos like those French girls?
I yes, question mark?
Instead of drawing them, you just take pictures.
I mean, I draw a little bit too. They're probably
Oh,
more of the
really?
French girl aesthetic you're looking for. Yeah,
Can you draw me like one of those French girls?
are you a bird and or a lizard? Question mark.
I'm a shark.
Oh, close enough. Actually, I think I tried doodling a shark like last year or the year before. I am not nearly as good at that art form as I am with the photography stuff, just because I haven't had my 10,000 hours sunk into it yet. But it's a meditative thing for me.
Yeah, I'm a shark. I just bite things and fuck things.
Nice.
Simple motivations.
Yeah, very simple.
So
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So Seiko, now that we're talking about photography, do you recommend any, or do you recommend any cameras on a budget? Like for somebody that wants to start with photography on a budget, what would you recommend?
That is always such a loaded question because it ends up depending a lot on what kind of shots a person is trying to go for. And then there's always that touchy-feely thing of what kind of tool feels best in their hands. Don't turn that into a thing.
Tool.
Typically, I would end up saying that even the cheapest like kit Nikons that you buy at like Costco or something like that are great, but you'll end up wanting to pair them with a fast prime, which is a lens that doesn't zoom. It has a single focal length, so if you want to get more in the shot, you have to step back, or if you want to get closer up, you got to step forward. I know that I and most amateurs in general learn the most in that phase when you're using one camera, one lens that's fixed, and you are forced to move yourself around to try to see things differently in that one sort of perspective. So, God, I don't even know what Nikon's bottom line, quote unquote, is these days. Probably like the D3400 or 3500 or something like that these days. And they have a cheap being like $200. So I guess depending on who you are, $200 is or is not cheap. But it's a 35 millimeter f1.8 prime lens. It's like the nifty 50 that everybody who ever shoots an old film SLR would be using. And that combo lasted me for something like 5 years, and I used nothing but one camera and that one lens. Learned a lot.
Darth Vader, can you please step back from the mic, please?
Most people I end up telling stick with your cell phone because it's actually alarmingly good. Cell phone cameras are stupid good these days, unless you're really trying to get into that stylized look.
See, I haven't had much luck with cell phone cameras. Like the Samsung Galaxy S5 was horribly disappointing for a camera, or has a horribly disappointing camera. I had to go back to the Verizon store back when I had Verizon and a Galaxy S5 and just tell them, hey, this thing isn't zooming properly. Can you give me another one? And they would. And I did that twice. Because the damn thing would not zoom properly, and then after the third time, I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm just not going to do photos. Now, the S3, that had a really good camera.
So I'm not much of a photographer. I'm more of a videographer. I took 2 years TV production class. So I can kind of see where you're coming from when you're saying that asking someone as their first thing is very, very fucking broad. That's like people always come in when I'm working. They're like, oh, I want to get a helmet. I'm like, cool. What kind of helmet do you want? We got half helmets, 3/4, full face. We got a fuck ton of different helmets. And they're like, oh, I don't know. I just want something on my head. I'm like, that doesn't fucking help.
It gets really hard for me to levy advice as far as cameras go these days because I've used such a broad array of tools. And even right now, I have a medium format camera on one end of the spectrum where I'm shooting ridiculously high resolution shots, 50 megapixel shots with obscenely good glass, but it's a very slow and clunky thing to use. And then the other thing in my toolbox that I use predominantly is a Micro Four Thirds camera, which is smaller than a 35 millimeter piece of film. It's a smaller sensor camera, but it's really fast. So if I'm like run and gun or don't actually know what I'm shooting that day, I'll probably run out with that. But then I have this weird array of film cameras sitting around me that I like to screw around with too. And there are so many different cameras that fit different moods. There's never any one thing that fits a mood for me.
That's how I am with firearms. People just be like, oh, I just want a gun. I'll be like, what the fuck?
Is it a handgun day or a rifle day?
Yeah, and like sometimes I like to shoot my shotgun, sometimes I like to shoot pistols, sometimes I like to shoot rifles. Sometimes I like to shoot rifles that basically dislocate my shoulder every time I pull the trigger.
A 30-06 day or a 50 cal day?
I'll do both at the same time, man. I'm weird. Like I use a 30-06 as like my plinking rifle.
That's expensive.
Yeah.
It very much is. But damn, is it worth it? Because it's fucking fun.
So I've got another fun question.
Silex, I swear to God, if you keep breathing in your mic, I will shove my fist down your
I'm
fucking
not
face.
even breathing in the mic.
This is all I hear.
He's got that growly sound.
Oh
Whoa.
God! Oh
Whoa.
no! No!
Yikes. Yikes.
Yikes! So Seiko, how do you feel about Kodak getting into the Bitcoin business and
Oh,
making their own Bitcoin miner that you can rent?
Kodak has not been the Kodak I remember back in the day for a very long time. So it's so I'm not surprised whatever Chinese company owns that brand is diverging a little bit from whatever the original brand was supposed to be. I can't say I'm surprised. I could see Kodak being the name on a gas pump or something like that at this point. Polaroid's the same way. It's somebody owns the brand who doesn't actually do cameras at this point. It was just an expensive and flashy brand name to buy.
Well, honestly, I
Kinda
think
like Gucci.
yeah, I think they missed a huge opportunity when Adobe Photoshop came into the market. They missed a huge opportunity to be the company that creates image editing software and just cashes on that for decades to come. Instead, they stuck to uh, their tried and true products and stuck with it for far too long. And now here they are trying to cash in on Bitcoin.
I do remember actually reading a documentary of sorts about that, where
Yeah.
Kodak was. It was weird because Kodak partnered up with Nikon and created one of the first really usable digital cameras. But their legacy ownership in the corporate end of the company didn't want to galvanize its own film sales, so they had all of the technology to really leapfrog digital forward, and they sat on it instead of releasing it. And then everybody else started releasing it before they did because they were trying to stick with the film business because, 1-hour photos were lucrative at the time.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
definitely missed the boat on that, all because
Oh,
of,
yeah.
go figure, bad high-level corporate decision-making.
Yeah.
The familiar story.
Yeah.
You either die a hero or you live yourself to become the villain. Live
But
long
see,
enough
that's
to become
like
the
a
villain.
common thing with a lot of companies going back. I want to say in, oh God, the late 90s, early 2000s when they had chances to get ahead of technology. One company that comes to mind is Blockbuster. They had a chance to buy Netflix. Not Netflix. What's it called?
Redbox?
Redbox.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a chance to buy Redbox, but Blockbuster was like, nah, this isn't going to be a thing. And what, 10 years later, Blockbuster doesn't exist and Redbox is kind of a
Actually,
thing
they do
still.
have one blockbuster left,
Oh, it's
and
still open.
yeah, in
Oh, I thought it closed
fucking
down.
Alaska. It's actually a fucking state museum.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
A couple of years ago when I was up at Anthrocon, I was visiting a friend of mine that actually lives in Pittsburgh, and there was a Blockbuster on closeout up there, and I ended up going to that store. They were selling the movie placards for like $1 a pop. So I just went and bought a whole bunch of movie placards and cut them down, and I actually got them framed and sitting in my living room.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Nice.
Jinx, bitch.
Dang!
Oh,
I'm so fucking hungry right now.
you
Eat.
could eat a horse.
I really need to eat something
Order Uber Eats.
because I have not had dinner because I went straight to working out.
Well, Sharky, I know of a great place where you can where you can eat.
Oh God, no,
And-
no!
What? He's hungry.
Damn it!
Applebee's
You know,
is the
go fuck
best
yourself.
place
How about
to
that?
eat.
No,
Ladies and gentlemen, Applebee's
I will
is the
fucking
best place
boycott
to eat.
Applebee's if you
You
don't
will
stop.
never boycott the best restaurant in America.
I will
How
Your
dare you?
boycott
sponsorship angling is intense.
Yes, it is.
I could throw up in your mouth, Sharky. Would that help?
I'm not
Just bird
sure how to
things.
respond to that.
Just bird things.
Oh my God.
That is so generous of you, Seiko.
I'm really
I
not
know,
sure
right?
how to
It is,
fucking
yeah.
respond to that.
I'm starving
I'm
my
like
children for
equally
you.
disturbed at the same time interested.
Whoa.
wow.
I'm sickened but curious.
Basically.
Oh.
So let's move on to another film topic: movies and television. Did we watch any furry films or furry related films over the past couple of weeks?
Detective Pikachu. That was
Funny.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny. I liked it.
It was actually pretty enjoyable. Fan service for people that grew up with it, for sure.
Yeah.
Nerds
Yeah.
jizzing their pants is everywhere.
I mean,
Whoa.
Mewtwo was pretty hot in that film.
He was. Oh, sweet Jesus.
So-
he was.
More guilty confession from me. Mewtwo was my gateway drug into furry back in middle school because, like any proper emo kid in middle school, the emo sob story of Mewtwo is like, oh my god, I feel that, man. And oh man,
Parents never understand.
I dove into it really hard. So I found it a little bit weird that the styling for him made him look a bit like an alien. I get that because
I mean,
he's supposed to be the
look
genetic
like an
mod.
alien.
I've always been used to, after years of conditioning from seeing furry art and whatnot, oh, I figured he'd look more like a cat, a little bit fuzzier. But I'm like, oh no, this makes sense. Not the aesthetic I thought it would be, but it makes sense.
I actually
I
found
mean,
a
there's
Maryland...
already a legendary Pokemon
Yeah.
that looks like a cat.
Hmm.
I actually found a Maryland furry artist that does art of. He does very interesting sketches. He sketches out the muscular and skeletal structure of Pokemon. And one sketch he did, I thought it was so adorable. He actually drew a Mewtwo in the tub acting like a cat. I want to find a picture of it and then just send it to everyone. Because
Have you guys
it is
seen the
just-
picture of Diglett? It looks like one of those cut open like diagram kind of things like they do for school for the frogs.
No, I haven't.
Oh,
It
no.
was fucking terrifying.
I would
Diglett
think
may
it
look
would be.
cute above the ground, but underground he's a fucking terrifying monster.
Oh, jeez.
Get to see the roots.
They're
Dot,
not
dot,
roots.
dot.
He has like a strange ass like eating orifice, and it's fucking terrifying.
It makes sense. It's completely scientifically valid.
Oh yeah,
So-
it is. It's still terrifying.
So speaking of movies and shows, is anybody here a Game of Thrones fan?
I haven't
I've only
watched
watched
really
the
much
first
of it.
season.
I think I made it
Okay.
3 episodes in before I was so overwhelmingly depressed that I had to turn the TV
Yeah.
off and sleep.
Yeah, my folks, they love Game of Thrones so much they threw a surprisingly well-attended house party for the season finale. Everybody hated it.
That was
Yeah,
my
it was-
coworkers. They hated it too.
Yeah. Yeah, I tried to watch one episode of it, just one random episode. I couldn't understand what the hell was going on. Never understood the appeal of that show.
Here's
Don't
the
get it.
appeal. Stabby, stabby, fucky, fucky, stabby, stabby.
Really?
I can get the geopolitical intrigue and whatnot. Unveiling my nerdier side. That's the reason why I like Deep Space Nine so much. Star Trek Deep Space Nine. The geopolitical aspect of it is absolutely amazing, and I can see that being a huge appeal for the Game of Thrones series. But again, it's so monumentally depressing. It's as hard to get through as any more, like The Walking Dead. Also
I'll tell
monumentally
you-
depressing. I have a hard time getting through it.
I couldn't watch the later seasons because it just got repetitive.
I'll tell you exactly why everybody hated the series finale Game of Thrones. Because Tyrion did not get crowned king. He did not get his massive harem orgy with everyone involved. He wasn't the last man standing. He didn't get jack shit. He deserved everything, and he got jack shit.
I heard it all went to a rando, like some background guy who just kept his head down.
Yeah, exactly. They gave it all away to some rando that would just squander everything 2 minutes later. Fuck it.
Lesson learned, kids. Don't be the cool guy. Just stay in
Yeah.
the background. Stay a background character.
And you'll
get-
succeed in life. There you go.
Tyrion was the coolest in that show because he was the person that would. Joffrey, you remember Joffrey from the show?
Familiar with
asshole-
Joffrey, yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
that little asshole prick. He
The
thought he was
sociopath.
hot shit, and Tyrion, he's like half the height of Joffrey, and he was still backhand him. He was still bringing
Slap the shit out of him. It was funny.
backhand the shit out of him. Man.
Got bitch slapped.
Bitch slap him. Yeah, he needed it until he died like a bitch.
Good
God. So aggressive.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well-
I don't think anybody who loves this show was actually mourning Joffrey's death. So fuck him.
Yeah, but series
Little
finales are
asshole.
usually hit and miss when it comes to shows. I can't think of a good one that I've seen recently. Most of them have been pretty bad. I watched The Sopranos one as a kid, and I don't know why. My dad made me watch The Sopranos as a kid, but at the time, I didn't understand it. It just faded to black. As an adult, I don't understand it. It just fades to black. It's like what's going on here?
Oh, so that actually did not make sense, and I wasn't just too young to realize it.
Yeah. The House of Cards season finale was that whole season was god awful. I don't recognize that as the final season without Frank. But
I just stopped watching
Yeah.
season 2 because my friend told me, "Hey, just
it gets
there's-
crazy after.
yeah, it does,"
Yeah.
and that's what he said too. And we watched we watched season 2, and then we just kind of looked at season 3, and it's like,
Yeah, it starts to get really implausible. It's like,
yeah.
oh, you're canceling elections now. Okay, cool. That'll never happen.
I honestly thought
Careful.
the most badass part.
These
of
are
that
scary
show-
times.
I know.
Yeah.
Man, if they try canceling elections and shit, that'd just be another fucking civil war. And they just kill off all
Yeah.
the dumbasses.
If anybody will
honestly,
get off their
yeah.
couch.
I
No,
think
but-
the most badass part of that show was when Frank got up in the House chambers or the Senate chambers. I don't remember. And he actually had the sergeant at arms force
Yeah, or
the
order people to come back.
order people to come back and cast a vote. I thought that was so badass. I'm like, why don't we do this every fucking time we have a shutdown?
That would be fucking
We've had a
amazing.
shutdown every year for how many years now?
Oh God.
That's bullshit.
No, if I would vote for Frank Underwood. He's sketchy as fuck, but he gets the job done. He knows what he's doing. He's a cool dude.
I'm just saying. I think we need politicians that would do that. That would do just that. Anytime there's a stupid shutdown, just drag him back in with the sergeant at arms and make him do
Nah.
a vote.
We need furry politicians in fursuits. That'd be awesome.
I mean, we did have a furry politician or representative or whatever. But
Oh,
because
yeah,
people
like-
found
Oh,
out,
God, I had
he was
forgotten
like,
about
I gotta
that.
resign now because people are assholes.
Oops.
Oh, what's this? Notices your vote.
Oh my God. I'm gonna isolate that. That's great.
Notice your nuclear football.
Sound macros for future episodes. Oh my gosh.
No, but speaking of movies, real quickly, is there any other movies that you guys are looking forward to seeing the rest for this year, the rest of the year?
Godzilla, King of the Monsters, because, oh my goodness. Have you seen the reviews for Godzilla?
Big scary
It is
monsters
stupid.
fight.
From the critics, yeah, they
Yeah,
hate
they're
it. But
stupid.
from, well, of course, they're fucking critics. They don't know a monster movie if you hit them in the face.
No,
I mean, they got
yeah,
pissed off at Venom. It was supposed to be more of a comedy, not a serious movie, and they're like, it was terrible. I'm like, no, it's pretty fucking
If you
good.
were going to see the new Godzilla movie because you're looking for a deep plot and strong character development, you have gone for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I mentioned I was tweeting some on I think my Clef Wolf account. Is like I was looking at how they were knocking Godzilla because all the special effects that they had and the great cinematography and the wonderful rich sound could not replace a plausible, engaging story. And I'm like, is this how people say I read Playboy for the articles in 2019? Really? I mean, if you're knocking down Godzilla because it's just monsters knocking down things and
Which is awesome.
I
fighting
mean,
each
people
other, and
wanted
like
big monster
that is why
fights, so they
we're
got
here.
big monster fights.
exactly.
That's the point.
Yeah, that is why everyone is here.
And look, I kid you not. The Godzilla movie in 2014, you know what they knocked it for? Not having enough monster scenes. So for this one, they're knocking it for having too much. It's like you can't win with
You
critics. So
can't
I
make
don't even
everyone happy.
care what the critics say.
I don't care either because this is stupid.
It really is.
It's
The
just
genre is too niche for critics. Well,
It really is. But
I remember that was the whole reason I went to go see Pacific Rim. I
Yeah.
enjoyed the hell out of that movie. It's
yeah,
just
the
flimsy
first
as
one is
hell on
great.
plot, but yeah, I never saw the second one. Oh, I forgot
It's
the second one came out.
yeah, it's
The
But the
second
first
one's
one was
not as
fun.
good.
yeah. Pacific Rim, the first one was amazing.
yeah.
I like the second one, but the second Pacific Rim is just robots fighting each other more than just monsters.
I mean, that
Though
tickles
they
a different
did,
thing.
yeah. Oh, they did have one giant motherfucker at the end, but
Yes, they did.
Mm-hmm.
Big Chonk, he's huge.
Yeah.
I like how what's his name? That scientist dude is basically mind fucking the other kaiju brain.
Oh yeah. And also, Ron Perlman's character in that movie was just, oh my goodness, that was
Campy
so,
and hilariously bad, which is perfect.
yes, he was amazing in that film.
I
Yeah.
want his shoes.
Yes,
Just
What
his
was that?
shoes.
I mean, they were some gold-plated shoes. That was cool.
yeah,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
that would be
His whole
styling.
fucking outfit, man. That's dope.
Yeah. But if there is one other movie I am excited for, and I have high hopes for it, and I'm probably being too optimistic, it's Star Wars. Now, they're bringing Palpatine back, supposedly. I don't know.
Star
I don't
Wars
know if
is
it's
dead.
confirmed. You're
Let's
not
be
wrong.
honest.
It's dead. It died after Episode 1. That's when it died. But yeah, no. I am excited that they're ending this trilogy because it's been a massive clusterfuck,
It's been
Oh
and
no,
way too
no, no,
long.
no, no, no,
that's
no.
being generous, probably.
No, they will make this a 50-year franchise.
So
I
no,
guarantee it.
Disney actually released their roadmap for the next 5 years of movies that are coming. They already announced that there are 3 more Star Wars movies coming, but they're not going to be about the Skywalker branch. It's going to be about someone else that we don't know. So
Hmm.
I don't know what it's going to be about. It could be about the Knights of the Old Republic. It could be a story from the expanded universe. I don't know. I just hope they don't fuck it up. But
I would actually be thrilled if they just did more one-offs, because like Rogue One, that
it was
is
great.
my favorite Star Wars movie that I have ever seen. It was freaking amazing to me, just
The
because the oh god, the disjointed nature of it, I guess, from the original plot line. It was nice to see. Oh, this is how the rest of the world lives while these head honchos go off and have their glorious battles. This is the world of the peons down below.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
that.
And the scene with Vader at the end is so masterfully done. It's so amazing. And I wish Star Wars could do more stuff like that. They did Solo. I honestly didn't see Solo. I heard it got mixed reviews, probably because of Star Wars burnout. But yeah, we'll see how they wrap this up. I'm optimistic, but I'm probably being too optimistic about this one.
Yeah.
I need to
Yeah.
catch up on them because I haven't watched the two. What's the word I'm looking for? The two in the original chronology, I guess, of Star
I
Wars
just
films
hope-
that just came out.
I just hope that when Harrison Ford passes away, they don't use a hologram of him in subsequent Star Wars films. I mean,
They
let
might.
everyone just rest in peace. Damn it.
I mean, they're doing it with Carrie Fisher for this
I
film,
know,
which
and I
is
hate
kind
it.
of it's too lifelike in my opinion. Like it's really creepy how
It's
accurate
still,
they got it.
It's still a little uncanny valley, but
Yeah,
and you can't ever quite put your finger on it. Like it's so photorealistic, but at the same time, something's wrong. You don't know what it is. It's so
Yeah.
close.
Yeah, that is
It's so
absolutely-
close that it just descends into I cannot accept this. My mind will not accept this as a real person.
That's what throws me off about it. It's just part of it is that, but also part of it is just like she just died. I mean, come on, man. This isn't like Tupac on tour like 10 years after he died or whatever. This is, she just died.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, also, one last topic that we want to kind of discuss
Mm-hmm.
is this new show that's on YouTube that is being funded by a Kickstarter. It was promoted by Rico Tiger, if you know him, during Confuzzled, because it's an all British cast and it takes place in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
And what's really interesting is that it touts itself as the first fursuit drama on YouTube. The show is called Sally, and it is following. And basically, the show is about a furry who is murdered, and this wolf is being implicated for the murder because his roommate is being suspected of doing it, but then he dies as well. Spoiler alert. The first season is out on YouTube right now. The episodes themselves are not that long. They're only about 7 minutes long. The costumes and the fursuits are really, really cute. But here's my honest take. I'm kind of still jarred at just how it's at the pacing of it. It definitely feels like they're going way too fast with
They
the
are.
storyline.
They are.
And I mean, overall, when you see the third episode, you kind of wonder, why are they doing a Kickstarter for a second season? Most of everything's been resolved in those 3 episodes.
Well, you gotta get that money, man. That's why.
Well, yeah, but I don't know.
I mean, the viewership is there. You saw how many people have already viewed it. It's clearly
Oh
a
yeah, there's viewers.
yeah,
There's viewers,
yeah.
and I'm
So
pretty
they're
sure
gonna
there's people
capitalize
on
on that.
Kickstarter funding this. So yeah, I guess more power to them. But hopefully, in the second season, we get better
Hmm.
storytelling, better characterization. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Better pacing, better editing, because there were some issues with the editing I noticed.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
definitely did notice some editing. Like there was this one scene where the wolf is being pushed into the water, and I could definitely hear that the water was a sound effect that they just put in there. It wasn't. It didn't sound like the river that he was being pushed into. It sounded like he just plopped himself into a bathtub and recorded that.
But no, I think it's great that we have people willing to push boundaries and try new things. So
Oh
even though
yeah.
that this is sort of like it's a I don't want to say it's a raw show. It's not, it's an up and coming kind of, I guess, web series, quote unquote.
Yeah.
I think it's good that we're seeing diversity when it comes to the type of productions that are being produced by people,
Hmm.
especially in the furry community, when we can create something like this and share it with the rest of the world. So I look forward to this sort of becoming kind of a common thing down the line, not just with this show, but with other shows. Furries and fursuits taking more opportunities to tell stories, original stories, like murder mysteries. I don't know. They want to recreate Law and Order if they want to, which, by the way, would be fucking epic if you could do that. I would love you for that.
So
They need to remake that CSI episode,
oh
Yes.
but
no,
make it
Yes.
better
no,
and not all
no.
fucked up.
Yes.
I mean, one of us actually
Yes.
owns Big Blue, don't we?
I think someone does, yeah.
Some
The
fur bought it.
furries own
Yeah,
Big
someone
Blue?
bought it. Yeah, someone
Yeah,
apparently bought it.
For how much?
I don't know.
I'm curious now.
probably got it at a yard sale. I don't know.
I think that's awesome.
That's like, oh, how the mighty have fallen.
Uh,
Yeah. Just remake that episode, but make it less cringy, please.
Very much less cringy. For the love of
Yes.
God.
Or lean into it. Make it even cringier.
Just
Make it so
fucking
absurdly cringy that nobody would ever believe furries could possibly be that bad.
Oh, whoa.
Like,
Notice
just
there's
have
your
them
crime
walking
scene.
around with like their dicks hanging out of the fucking suits and shit. Some of the suits aren't even completed.
Oh, so you
They're
don't
just
even want
base
an
heads.
R rating. You just want a softcore porno.
Straight to DVD.
Hell yeah.
I'd buy it.
I mean, technically, if it was a softcore porno, I think a lot more furries would be interested in being in that episode now.
Yeah. And you got to pay them too, so that also, bring
Yeah.
out the masses.
Yeah. So, but you're all agreeing that there is some potential in fursuiting and fursuiters being in or creating their own media and creating their own,
I mean,
creating
people
our own
already
genre
run
of
around and
entertainment.
act as is. Might as well get it on
I mean,
camera.
they do it already in YouTube videos. I mean, you see Majira and Nos Hyena do that already. So what's it to take that and expand it into acting on web series? It's
Well,
just it's just a little more work and a little more people being involved, but
It's
it's
sort
definitely
of,
possible.
to me, it kind of harkens back to like Jim Henson era puppeteering and the costumes of like the late 80s and early 90s that were in serious films. It's just, different people making them this time. It's not all Jim Henson Studios stuff. Different aesthetics.
yeah.
But it translated well in that time period. I don't see why it wouldn't also fit a sort of nostalgic float for anybody who grew up with those movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can agree with that. But also, to be fair and to be honest, I have not seen a single video from Majira. I know he is like one of the most popular furries out there, but I have not seen a single one of his videos yet.
Oh, same. I haven't either.
So he's almost like a Hoops level person to me.
I just know he's popular. That's all I know about him.
Yeah, I know he's popular.
That's about it.
I feel like we'll see a lot more amateur grade stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like Sally, given how much lower the barrier of entry is with really competent videography these days.
Yeah. Yeah, and I do want to also give a shout out to Ace the Collie, hashtag or at Ace and Butch on Twitter. He's the constable in Sally, and I think he's got a friend that also plays the wolf in Sally. But I gotta say, he is adorable in that series, and he's got a really adorable suit.
He does.
And also props for him for actually like him and the wolf running at top speed in that one scene in the chase scene, because I'm like, if you could do that in fursuit, you can do almost anything in my view, because good lord, the heat in that suit.
Oh God, yeah.
I hope you have sufficient cooling.
There's this dude, Thay, fellow shark for a nod to you, Sharky. He does parkour in fursuit, and it's wild to see.
I
gotta
would
check
not
that
be able
out.
to do that because
I want to check that out
I'd
because I think
fucking
that's
run right
that's
into
cool.
a wall, not able to see anything.
Oh, he's the the light brownish.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
Made by
yeah, I
Twinkie
know him.
Arts.
Yeah.
He's a cool dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got his little squeaker on his tail
Yep.
because people kept on stepping
Yeah,
on
it's
it.
a nice suit.
Yeah,
I like that.
I'm amazed that he keeps it looking so good despite the fact that he's rolling around in the dirt on the thing whenever he's doing his parkour runs.
Oh,
Lots
yeah.
of money going in the cleaning.
That's the thing that would keep me away from doing like very strenuous, high intense.
I wouldn't
intensity
even
work.
ride my bike in a fursuit. I just get grease all over it or some shit.
Well, no, you can be like Demetrius and just ride a little tricycle around.
That'd be adorable.
Yes, it would be. he does it at conventions all the time. He did it at BLFC, and he just rides his little tricycle around and squawks at people, and it's just it's cute, but also makes you go, "What the hell is that?"
He's
Did
a
that
neat
eagle
dude.
just yeah? Did that eagle just squawk at me?
Yeah,
He is really cool.
suiting is a very new thing for him too, as I understand it. But he dove into it
Oh my god,
like full speed, and he does a great job.
he is always he is always on point with his character. He's amazing. And yeah, he's not afraid to just suit and interact in character with passersby and general public, kids, whoever. I think anytime I see his videos, he's awesome all the time. It always makes me smile when he posts a new video on Twitter.
Makes you want to get a GoPro and a stick.
Yes.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
I finally got a selfie stick.
Took you
All I
long
need
enough.
to do. Well, I've always been averse to getting a selfie stick because I always thought that they were
Yeah.
little, yeah, they're kind of like penis extenders. Or
The
something.
stigma to the selfie stick is matched only by the stigma to the jewel.
I have a jewel.
Oh, garbage.
That's because I don't want to like spend all my time maintaining a fucking vape.
Oh, garbage.
It's the same thing. It
It
is a
honestly
vape.
is.
It is, but the thing is, I don't have to clean that much off of it, and plus, I'm trying to get out of cigarettes.
Well, that's understandable.
Oh, slightly less garbage.
You're garbage.
Hey,
Being rude.
I'm always rude.
Yeah, you
I'm an
are.
asshole, but everyone likes me, so
We do. We do.
no idea why.
Because you're awesome. That's why.
I'm an awesome asshole.
Whoa.
You're an awesome. You're an awesome douche. I didn't say asshole. You did.
The directions that went.
Oh yes.
anyway, if you want to follow along with Sally on Twitter, their Twitter page is @Sally_the series, and you can follow along there, and also join their Kickstarter if you're interested for season 2. They've got 258 followers. I mean, they do it, so they do have views, but
They could use a leg up, it sounds like.
Yeah. Yeah, they could.
Get some critique.
yeah.
Incorporate new
That's the
information.
name of the wolf. His name is Cody.
Aw.
He's adorable.
Oh, Cody the Wolf. Yeah, I watch him on YouTube.
Actually, his roommate is adorable too.
Yeah.
Oh, he's adding names to his adorable list. Oh no.
Yes.
They're no
Told
longer
you,
safe.
Sean.
Oh god.
We have to destroy him before
Hide
it's
your
too
kids.
late.
Hide your wife. You coming?
I'm sorry, but if I could list all my fursuit crushes, it would be like a long scroll that would just scroll past.
Good
Oh,
lord,
yeah,
man.
if I ever meet Cody in real life and he isn't swamped with people, I'm gonna be like, "Sup, motherfucker."
I think you'd have to go to England to meet him,
Yeah.
which sucks. A lot of my fursuit crushes are in Europe.
Damn Europeans.
Yeah. Like this one husky dude from Finland. I forgot his name.
Are you talking about the guy with a cute ass fursuit and he like takes pictures out in the snow under like a
Yes.
Roya and shit?
He is adorable.
Hell
then-
yeah. I want to hug
and
the
then
hell out of him.
Yes, especially with that one gif that he's just he's on a bed and he's outstretching his arms to you and demanding hugs, and it's like, yes, I
You
want to hug
cuddly
you.
son of a bitch.
You are adorable.
Actually just started talking with one of my fursuit brothers, Yoshakos. He's out in Greece. He's a fellow blue. He is a Yoshi Raptor, so he's my fuzzy scaly brother. I have a soft spot for this particular brother at this point.
Nice. So Lifty is actually my brother, quote unquote. Um, he looks just
Oh.
like me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same
Brother
color
from a
scheme
different
and
mother.
everything. It's funny as
Yeah.
fuck.
It's really weird how we look alike. Our suits look alike.
I have probably mistaken one or both of you for the other at some point in time.
Everyone has.
Yeah, everyone has.
Yeah.
I even made a joke about it on Twitter where some meme was floating around saying, "Badly describe your persona," and I just said, "I'm actually Silox95."
Oh God.
And then Silox came back and said, "Yeah, you're not wrong." This has been an awesome podcast episode, and we thank you, Seiko, for joining us.
Yeah, thanks
It has
for
been-
joining.
you've
Thank
been
you
an
for having
awesome
me.
guest. Yeah. And if anybody wants to follow you on Twitter, what is your Twitter handle?
What is my Twitter handle? Oh,
Yeah,
at
plug
Seiko
yourself.
Liz. That's right. That
One word?
yeah, SEIKOLIZ.
Awesome.
Super simple.
Yeah, anything
And,
you want to plug in at all?
Oh, you're
Yeah,
gonna
if you
tell me to
have
plug shit.
Yeah, if you have any galleries on online, like for Affinity or whatnot, yeah, feel free to plug
Any
them.
last words, whatever you want to fucking say before we wrap this shit up?
Oh God. No, because it's where all of my artwork goes, which is my AD account, which I made because I can't draw things that don't have peen. It's a real
Peen.
problem.
You have an AD?
Shh, it's the secret that's not actually a secret these days.
I want to know about this AD account, just for science. You know.
For science.
Always for
Pass it
science.
your way. It's mostly an art
Awesome.
account, mostly.
Okay, that's understandable.
It's just, like I said, I have a hard time drawing things that don't have dong.
That
Or
is
big butts.
perfectly okay in the furry
That sounds
fandom,
good to
since
me.
everyone seems to like dong anyway.
Yeah, I mean, we three are of the homosexual variety anyway.
Well, you're half right on my case.
Yeah, I'm pretty gay.
I'm
think.
diet gay.
I don't know.
Can I be
Anyway.
part of the club?
No.
Well, party pooper over there said no.
Oh.
Anyway, thank you very much, listeners, for joining us on another exciting episode of Furry Frequencies. If you like what you're hearing, feel free to follow us on Twitter at Furry Frequency. And also, be sure to subscribe here on YouTube for the latest episodes and hit that bell for notifications so that you can always stay up to date on the newest episodes. We will be updating our distribution soon to include SoundCloud. Just be patient. We're working on it. Until then, this is Furry Frequencies signing off with Lifty,
Sharky!
Silox.
and
Seiko!
Great. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for a wonderful night, and you have a wonderful evening yourself.
Good night, Fresno, California.
Good night, Singapore.
No one lives in Fresno. That's a shitty town to live in. I wouldn't live there. I honestly wouldn't. That's a bad place to live.
Good night, Prague, Czech Republic.
Of all
And
the
the
countries
episode's
you
done.
chose,
We're not doing this thing again.
yeah, we are.
It's done.